Now, while some think Brian may already be in the mountains, want to go back to the nature reserve. The FBI tonight is calling the search scaled back and, quote, targeted based on intelligence. Joining me now is Joseph Tedai, a former Force Recon Marine, Army Special Forces, Green Beret, former operator in a highly classified government counterterrorist unit. I mean, you've seen it all. Based on that, we're so glad to have you on, Joseph. You are also the star of the Discovery show, Dual Survivor. Let's take a look and then we'll chat.
We don't have any matches. Everything here is moist. The only thing that I am thinking of right now is using the flashlight somehow to make a fire. So the first thing I got to do is get the bulb out. I've got an idea, but it's going to be a one-shot deal. What we're going to do...
Joseph, when you hear targeted based on intelligence, is that a fancy way of saying they're done, they haven't spotted him there?
Pretty much. You know, when I first found out that this guy was possibly hiding in a swamp, the first thing that came to my mind was like, that is probably the last place I would want to hide if I had a choice. That would be at the bottom of my list, to be honest with you. Do
you think that based on what you know about this person and the timeline and the gap that was lost, that he would be someone who would commit suicide, who may end up dead? Or do you think he's well on his way somewhere else? Let's say Mexico, as John Walsh believes he is.
Well, that's a really good question, you know, and that is a profile that, you know, hopefully our law enforcement professionals have come up with. You know, one of the things I want to tell people is when it comes to survival, and that's what we're talking about right now, it's a mental game, not just physical. So what is his mental state right now? Is he depressed? Is he feeling anxiety? Does he feel like he's being pursued? You know, like Mr. Walsh said, if he has a gun, is he going to use it? That plays a huge factor into how long he's going to be able to sustain himself mentally in a austere environment. And it's tough. I mean, I've been in them, and you better be in good shape physically, good shape mentally. And, you know, we don't know. That's like that intangible thing. One thing I do want to say, and this is something I wanted to put out there, everybody thinks that in a survival situation like this guy may or may not be in, it's that one big mistake that you make, that big faux pas that kills you. That is not the case. What you die from is those little mistakes. You make one little mistake, then like another one, then another one, and then another one, and then boom,
be a little
critical mass, game over. Sure. So an example would be, let's say a person decides to go hiking somewhere and they say, oh, I'm only going to be out for 2 hours. I'm just going to bring a bottle of water. They go hiking and they go, oh, I'm going to go over here and go check this out. Well, they go a little too far. They can't find the trail they came in on. Oh, and now the sun's going down. Oh, and I didn't tell anybody where I was going. And the weather's changing, and now it's raining, and I didn't bring a rain jacket. Oh, and I don't have matches, etc. Now you have hypothermia. You got issues. It's the little mistakes connected together, and then now you're in a bad situation.
He's been described by some of Gabby's friends as Jekyll and Hyde, having two different personalities in terms of being a survivalist and maybe getting out of the marsh if he was ever there. The second part is conniving people to pick him up if he's hitchhiking and to allow people to take him in to move forward.
Yeah, I mean, again, these are things that, you know, they're intangibles. If this guy did in fact commit this crime, which is unknown at this time, if he did, and he is a planner, and again, this all gets into preparation and planning, you know, I think a person with common sense is not just going to keyhole themselves in a swamp and think he's going to hide from law enforcement people. You know, that's just not going to happen. They're going to find you sooner or later. So my gut instinct is he has assistance.
Yeah.
He has some kind of support mechanism. I mean, that to me, whether it's his family or whoever, but to me, yeah, it makes complete sense. He's got some kind of support mechanism helping him move right now, wherever he's at.
We thank you so much for your expertise on this. Joseph Tedai, thank you. And we do hope that they do find him a warrant out for his arrest. Again, a federal warrant for bank fraud, though, not murder.